All right, everybody. I apologize greatly. Glitch-san, Fuse-san, Chrome-san. I blame you guys. You guys went too hard and destroyed my PC. It's too powerful. So let me give some backstory, and guys, feel free to jump in if I miss a beat here. So, miscellaneous gaming. So there was a discussion between the old heads of the Dragon Ball community and the newer heads and everybody. What are we going to do? There's so many Dragon Ball games. It's getting out of control. And so the idea was decided that evolution has to pay for its sin along with and be put into its own category with all the other miscellaneous games. But at first, the dilemma is, what is a Dragon Ball miscellaneous game? You know, I hadn't think about it, but there used to be a site called Toonami, and the Cartoon Network Toonami, and unfortunately, you know, they're still there, but things have happened. But at that time, I remembered a game where you would click around the screen and you would go to different areas, and I was talking about like a crazy man. I was ranting. Somebody knows this game, like tell me. And Mikey-san and Glitch-san and Nugget-san and everybody was like, what are you talking about? Like for 24 hours straight, I was talking about this game. And the magic that happened to be, we found a Flash database. Because a lot of these games are Flash games. And so thanks to Glitch-san, who was able to actually find the file, we were able to find Dragon Ball Z Tournament. And Mikey-san was talking about this other game. So I'm going to let everybody else talk about the games, because I had really nostalgic, happy memories of this. And the fact that these games are good games. Like, when you think of like a Flash games, these are some of the best Flash games. So we want more runners, and they're kind of main games too, but I'll let everybody talk in order. We got to talk about the most hype game first. So Mikey-san, you want to introduce?
Right, so the most hype game of what triggered this entire mist board was Dragon Ball Z Mission Dynamic. How this triggered was, well, kind of my fault. I hate to say it, but it's true. I decided to download the emulator called Flashpoint, which is basically the archive for Flash games, since Flash Player no longer exists for us to download to use on browsers. And this archive contained basically every single Dragon Ball Z game that used to be on any Flash site you can think of. MoFun Zone, Toonami, Cartoon Network. There's probably a bunch more I'm missing. But what ended up becoming the most popular out of all of them was Dragon Ball Z Mission Dynamic. Now, the record spiraled out. At first, it started off with me getting a 10-minute. Then after that, it became an 8-minute time. Then the very first run they got submitted to the boards was a 7:35. Then weeks later, this man Reese in here,
the grind
and
board.
Nyland, they decide to come up with a strategy that basically demolishes the entire concept of the game. Now, Glitch, I want you to go ahead and explain this, because I wasn't there whenever it got taught.
Yeah, so if you pull up Riss's run, for example, we can kind of see it. So yeah, this is like a classic old school Cartoon Network Flash game. So basically the way this game works is you put your characters into the training zone. You can full screen it if you want to, it's cool. But you put your characters into the training zone at the bottom of the screen there. If you need it pulled up on YouTube, that works too, yeah. But the training zone will basically train your characters up to Super Saiyan. It gives them unique abilities. You start off with just like a normal punch and kick, and it's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors type of thing in a way, but each attack does different damage based on the character. Goku's kick is really strong, but the damage rolls are random. So basically you want to charge up your key bar on the left here and wait until you see that little yellow arrow from the enemy flashing, and then you throw your characters into the training zone once they are out of the training zone. So they're going to stay in there for like a small amount of time. You'll hear them pop out while you're in this fight, and then you put them in there. So the strat that Mikey's talking about, once you've trained all of your skills, each time you get into a training zone, you learn a new skill, you will become a Super Saiyan. So becoming a Super Saiyan increases your ki gain by a lot. It makes your damage a little bit better. So we figured out that, making one character at least go to Super Saiyan was like the best idea. Just to train one guy, make him Super Saiyan, and then sweep the rest of the characters with the Super Saiyan. But Riss actually found out, I believe, that if you put your character in the training zone after they already become a Super Saiyan, then it just stacks their Super Saiyan damage and ki bonus. So it makes their ki pretty much infinite. It regenerates extremely fast, and you can just mash out as many combos, or not combos, but as many attacks as you want in such a short time period that it just completely melts these guys. So we're in this example right here, we're already halfway through the run. Trunks is already halfway through the training. We choose him because his Big Bang attack is really strong once we're Super Saiyan. But you're basically going to want to chip away at like all of these characters as you train up Trunks to become a Super Saiyan. We're just kind of trying to defeat at least 2 guys on our way. So we usually go for like Raccoon and Guldo. They have the lowest health. And once we take them out, we're just going to try to chip away at, I think, Jeese or whoever is in the spot to make Frieza spawn closest to us. So we're just waiting for Trunks to get out of the training zone here. And once he's out, he's going to be on his last round of training to where he becomes the Super Saiyan and breaks the game. So it takes a little bit of time for them to get out of the training zone sometimes. I think it takes like 30 seconds for them to train, 30 to 40.
It's like 30 to 45 seconds. It just depends.
Yeah, there's sometimes they'll pop out earlier than other times. But yeah, I think it's about 40-ish seconds or so. But yeah, we're just going to use the last of Goku here to chip away at Jeese so that we can kind of speed up the fight a little bit better once Trunks is done training. But he's about to be done, so you'll see he becomes Super Saiyan, and Riss is going to throw him into the training region multiple times here. And by doing this, each time you put him in the training region after they've met Super Saiyan, it stacks their ki growth. So he just puts them in there about 4 times, and look at that ki. It's just maximum. You can just mash the attack button and immediately win. Yep. So it's pretty funny that this old Flash game like this was optimized this hard. Like, Riss really went in on optimizing this. The time that he and I have right now is like basically tasks. Like, we really can't get any lower than this time because we've grinded it so hard.
The only way for it to even get lower is for us to turn the board into where we have to time board runs at milliseconds. Even then, it's gonna come down to a thin thread.
Yeah,
like I think at this point, the way to improve this run to make it faster is just to have faster and more accurate mouse movements with all the clicking and dragging to, bring characters into the different training areas or the fight locations. But yeah, I believe before that glitch was found, I think we got the record to around like 453 or 458, right?
Yeah, something about that. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
you can look at the obsoleted runs to see.
And one of the things that I remember is during that time, the Frieza fight, like the very last fight, was still sketchy.
Yeah, it was.
There were many times you would just lose a run because Frieza would go hard on you. But now doing it this way, there's just no chance because your ki fills up so fast and you can spam your burning attack or whatever you use. So Vegeta doesn't even get to play in this anymore.
Yeah, he really doesn't.
So the way the word bounced was, it started off with me with a 715, and then it went to Reese with a 645, then to Nugs with a 636, and back to Reese with a 633, again with a 617, then with Nugs down to a 558, and then it bounced to Reese with a 544, and then after that, that's where Glitch started hopping in, and he didn't submit.
Yeah, it took a while for me to submit because I was like, man, this game is hard. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, I remember the long voice calls of just grinding this out.
Oh, yeah.
The final word before the glitch was actually optimized down to a point where we found the best character was a 340. When we found the best character, that's when the last 5 seconds came in. Now, like I said, the only way to really demolish this time is to bring it down to milliseconds.
Yeah.
Currently, I think Glitch's time is faster than
I think in terms of milliseconds, Glitch is faster.
It's literally faster by like 0.04 or something stupid like that. It's like extremely tasked out. Like, we grinded this Flash game harder than anyone should grind any Flash game. It's hilarious.
It's like we basically just burned ourselves into the ground with
We
this
really
game.
did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okay, and the next one that ended up popping off after that was Dragon Ball Z Tournament.
I love
This is Glitch's
game.
fault, so
No.
I'm gonna let him take it from here.
No. Well,
I mean, okay. Can we preface though? That like starting with Mission to Namek was the best out of the Flash games that we had played. That was, I think, what's the most fun and the most like community-driven game that we had.
Yeah.
was
pushed.
Mission Dynamic?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely
Because
was. A lot of people
the
hopped on it.
tournament. Yeah, because the tournament was just pain. That one was.
The tournament
that one was
is
only
pain.
just-
Well, and like what we came up with tournament was, okay, Frieza's really the only viable character. The rest of it's basically random. Good luck.
Yep, basically. And that's what's funny about it is that it's really just like pray that your damage isn't rolled to garbage. Like I played this game as a kid. The reason we made a leaderboard for this is because I used to grind this on Adult Swim, or not Adult Swim, but Toonami, their Flash game site. I used to play this all the time as a kid, and once we found out about Mission Dynamic, I was like, well, yo, why not do Dragon Ball Tournament? I had no idea how cringe it would end up being with the RNG. But the way this game works is you basically choose a character. We started picking Goku at first because we didn't have Frieza unlocked. And you can go ahead and start it, Mikey, just so we can have a visual aid. But
this right here is Goku Run. I'm gonna
This is
show
the Goku
off
run?
the Goku Run. This is the Goku Run
Yeah.
that is Glitch's run. I'm gonna show off this one, and then I'm gonna show off his Frieza Run to show
Yeah.
how big of a comparison this is.
yeah, so we chose Goku at first because Goku's Kamehameha does like half HP damage. But this game is like super rock, paper, scissors. You just choose a quadrant to fly to and choose an attack to use. So we have a key bar, we power up the key, and we hope that the enemy doesn't come attack us, because once you get attacked, it actually deletes your key. You want to have maximum key so you can use a super attack just like this here. And you want the enemy to not get a super themselves, because if they do, then like a character like Piccolo, he'll regenerate all the HP you just dealt to him. So yeah, we just try to fly to quadrants, avoid getting attacked the best we can, but we have no control over it. It's totally random. And we just power up to get super attacks and try to defeat them in 2 supers with the Goku strat. So it basically started off like this. It's I think it's about what, 6, 7 fights? I really don't even remember how many it is.
7 fights is total of each Dragon Ball.
Yeah, true. One fight per Dragon Ball, and it ends with a Frieza fight. So each character has their own order of what characters they fight. So it's pretty random outside of that. Usually what I would try to do is I would just try to rush for the super attack. You start off with about half key,
I don't think it's random. The way it works is, from
the
what I can
order's
think
not
of,
random for the characters.
yeah, no. The way it is for the fights is, per se, you pick Goku. You're gonna start the character that's the right of Goku at the start, and you're gonna go all the way down until the end when you fight Frieza.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's like with Frieza, you would start from him, and then we have to start fighting Goku, going all the way to the end.
Yeah, that makes about sense. So yeah, so in situations like what you just saw there, I was trying to avoid Krillin so that I could just get my super and end the fight, but we mashed into the same quadrant. If you guys land in the same quadrant, you start to do like a quick little clash, and that clash will remove ki. The thing about this game is damage dealt by normal attacks outside of supers, and damage dealt by clashes, by punches, ki blasts, all that, it's like a random damage roll. So you can roll between, like, you can do 0 to, like, 5 damage or something for that example. So sometimes if you clash, you won't even lose ki or health. It's totally random. So this game, like, optimizing this game was just a battle of sheer endurance. It's like, how many times can you reset? How many times can you deal with having a super attack ready to go and just getting clashed just like this and losing it immediately? Like, how much can you tolerate is basically what this game
because
down to.
there's only so much that you can actually strategize with this game.
Yeah.
Where it mostly does just come down to, are they going to end up in the same square as me?
Exactly.
Because, like, another thing, yeah, the main thing is we're trying to build up 100% key, the blue bar, in order to use, you know, our super as quickly as possible. Because, you know, 2 will finish off the enemy. But, yeah, every time you end up in the same quadrant as someone, not only are you likely to lose ki just from that clash, but that also means that you lost that turn of when you would have charged up your ki. So, you know, it just takes even more time.
Yeah, and
Now, there also is another attack in here that is very useful, but we recommend not using it due to the fact that it's not auto lock like the Kamehameha and all kinds of other ultimate moves.
Mhm.
It is 3 blast, the 3 key blast.
yeah, that's like a
It can
good
do a
YOLO
crap ton of
strat.
damage.
Yeah.
It can do a crap ton of damage, but the only downside is you gotta hope your opponent lands directly in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if they're crossing like diagonal angles, they
shoot
can get hit like
diagonally, yeah.
one time by one of the key blasts. The optimal strategy would be to hit with high damage roll triple key blasts every time. That would really be like the best way to do it. But that almost never happens.
Yeah, it's just the luck that would be required to pull that off. Is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane. So we basically just dealt with this for a while, the Goku strat, and you can kind of show off the Frieza strat now because that's pretty much the gist of Goku. But yeah, we just dealt with using Goku for a while until we realized, oh, once you actually beat the game, because it takes so long to beat it, we never knew, you unlock Frieza. And Frieza actually does quite a fair amount of damage. Like, Frieza's super attack is a little bit more damaging than Goku's, and it's a homing attack. So even if like they come to your quadrant or like they're not in like one of the 3 quadrants that they can be hit by the super, it'll still hit them. It'll hit them every time. So Frieza's definitely the better character to use. Some of you guys might remember this game just for playing it back in the day, but as a speedrun, it's pretty hilarious. It's a super big meme.
Yeah. Now, also the other downside with the AI in this game is, per se, your attack can only do a certain amount. The AI's attacks can do like double to triple the amount. It depends on the roll they get.
Yeah, basically.
It's like if Glitch didn't just have that shield up right there, he would have died.
Yeah, that's why, like, I knew, like, they will do a super attack every time they're at maximum key, pretty much. So as soon as I saw that Vegeta got max key, I was like, nope, I gotta use this shield because I will literally lose. Zarbon is one of the only fights in this game that actually has, like, a legitimate strategy. When Zarbon gets his super attack, you can go to a corner quadrant and you can dodge most of the damage from it. So getting supered by Zarbon actually doesn't matter. I might do it in this run, but it depends on how old this run is. If it might have been before I found it out.
Run you ever submitted.
Oh, then I probably didn't know. But yeah, like when Zarbon does a super, he will basically fly towards you and start punching, or he'll teleport towards you and punch. So you might see it here if I don't end him first. But yeah, he'll like come over to you and teleport and then just start attacking, and it does a lot of damage because it can roll the damage like a normal punch. So if you like kind of fly at a diagonal, it completely avoids the majority of it. So that's like the one strategy this game actually has. And yeah, Ginyu can body change, just like, you know, Ginyu always does. If he gets a super attack, he'll swap your HP bounce. Look how much damage that did. I literally lost half my HP from one regular attack. It wasn't even a super. So it can be really dangerous. You just have to pray that that kind of thing doesn't happen. But yeah, if he body changed me right now, it would actually benefit me because I have less HP than him. But it swaps your HP bars, so this fight is one fight you want to end like ASAP. Like you want to end this fight as soon as you can, so that you're not switching your half HP with, or his half HP with yours.
One other difference I want to mention really quickly, just between running Goku and Frieza. While Frieza's attack is homing and it does do more damage than Goku's super attack, Goku's can penetrate the barrier, if I remember correctly, right?
Oh yeah, I think it can.
Whereas
we just saw
Frieza's,
that.
it'll just
We
block
saw
the
that.
super entirely.
Yep, exactly. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, Goku's Kamehameha will just completely ignore the super attack shield that they can
Yeah,
use.
so just, if we're talking about like any other strats that you can actually apply to this game, technically the safe strat would be to pick Goku, just because more often than not, I think his runs would work out, just because the barrier is not going to completely like waste your the key that you just spent 4 turns charging up.
Yeah.
But with optimal like RNG or whatnot, then
So
Frieza.
here's the final fight, which ended up being very lucky for Glitch, because I remember being in court and him doing runs of this, and he was losing his mind over how many runs he was losing to Frieza as soon as he would get to this point.
Yeah, I
he
would
would either
get
lose
here
it
and
to
get deleted.
Frieza. He would either lose it to Frieza, Ginyu, or Zarbon.
Yep, and it was so soul-crushing, because it's like, I've almost beaten the game. I think at this point, I have never beaten the game, even in my childhood. Like, didn't beat it a single time. So, whenever I got here, I was like, it's time. I almost beat it. I'm gonna do it. And then when I finally did it, I popped off so hard. I was like, let's go. It's beatable. But yeah, this is just a pretty nice fight, because even though I got hit a few times, the key damage roll barely rolled. So like, I barely lost any key anytime I got hit. So I was able to get the second super off decently. Like, I lost a ton of HP from that single blast, and I was really scared, but I was able to still charge my super and end it, I think. Yeah.
I mean, presumably this has a happy ending.
Yeah, it was on the boards. It had to have somehow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was it. I didn't lose any key at all from that interaction,
perfect.
and I was like, let's go, we win.
And this
Nice.
was the very first official world record for Dragon Ball Z tournament.
Yep, it was. And then we found out the Frieza strat, which is basically a lot of the same. It's pretty much played identically, except we have the homing attack.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
see,
for the most part, the characters are identical, save for their supers, right?
Yes, exactly.
So it just comes down to
Yes.
who has a viable super for a speed run, and it's really just those two.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, see, this board's going through a lot. Reese and Glitch went back and forth.
Yeah, we did. Riss went hard, dude. Like, I did a couple runs, and like I beat Riss beat me, and then Riss just started grinding, and he just got some crazy times that I could only dream of getting at the time. And the record that I have right now, I think I was just like in a bad mood one day. I was like, man, I don't feel like playing any games. What can I do? And I just booted this game up, and then on like my third attempt, I got like this crazy good RNG run. I was like, well, okay.
See, tournament's not a game that I boot up when I'm in a bad mood.
That's a good point, but I was just so down in the dumps. I was like,
Yeah,
I gotta lie in it.
When you're in a bad mood and you're wanting to play a comforting game, don't ever touch a Flash game.
Don't ever touch this Flash game, dude.
No, it's like when you're sad, so you put on sad music, right?
It's
like
the
you're
same
just-
thing, exactly. Sad, you just play a super depressing video game. You just gotta be in it. So yeah, it's the same thing here. We just picked Frieza this time, but now Frieza has like his own type of
Yeah,
super
so as
attack
you-
that's
as
a
you
lot
can-
better.
As you can see, it's like the way the character order works for this game is, per se, like I said, if you pick Frieza, it moves downward. It starts with Goku and moves all the way to the last character that's next to Frieza.
So you can see how
Whatever
a special works differently.
Yeah. Whatever character you pick it depends on where it starts.
Yeah, so since
Well,
he
yeah,
was
I-
the last character, it goes from left to right. So
Right.
Goku's the first slot, so you fight Goku first, and then Piccolo, and etc. So that's a good observation. I actually never noticed that. So
I'd say, just regarding the Frieza run, the nicest thing about running as Frieza is that if you can get one super off, it does enough damage that in the clashes that you're undoubtedly going to have, there's a decent chance you're going to finish them off that way without having to like get another super.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Because sometimes saving up 100 key or like a full bar is just too difficult with
It
the luck.
is, yeah, because it's just completely dependent on whether or not the enemy will just run into you. But yeah, that's one of the big reasons why Frieza's super is stronger, is because it costs more key as well. Goku's, isn't that right? Goku's only costs like a little bit over half, or a little bit, something like that. Frieza's does a little bit
under
less,
half.
I
A little bit
think.
under half.
Yeah.
I don't actually recall, yeah, but yeah, because you need a certain amount of key to like be able to use the ability, but then it doesn't necessarily take that much key.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, see, as you saw in that last fight, you can take a clash at the start, and then after that, power up to where you have your super, and then use a key blast, a homing key blast. Let me refer to this side, because there's 3 different types of key blasts. You got regular, triple, and homing.
Yeah, and I think I might have done a couple like really lucky triple blasts in my run, because there was a couple times where I was like, you know what, I gotta do something for this time save. Riss's time is way too good, man. So I went for some YOLOs, and it ended up working out, I think.
I think Rissa's last time was a 753, and you brought this down to a 707.
Yeah, because getting sub 8 was like, Riss and I, we were like trying so hard to do that for so long. And it ended up working out.
No, and once you got your current time, I was just like, all right, you can have it.
Yeah, because like,
Didn't
who
want to
wants to
subject
grind
myself
this?
to that too much longer.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe someday I'll try again. But yeah, no, your time is super impressive.
Thanks, man. Yeah, your grind was insane. Like, I literally
Thank
thought
you,
that
thank
it
you.
was never going to be beaten by me. I was like, dude, how many times will I have to play this game? I was in the same boat as you, basically.
I may have started the trend of Flash games, but these two gods right here in Call are the ones that kept us going.
Yeah, every time we would like beat the other's record, the other would just like grumble and be like, "I guess back I go."
Yeah, we just like dragged our legs and dragged our feet and our arms on the ground like, oh, time to do this again.
Now, basically, Mission Dynamic is dead because of these two. These
Yeah.
two right here basically killed the board.
Well, I mean, other people could always join in.
Yeah, we could always
Bro.
make like a no glitch category glitchless and optimize that to death. You
Bro.
never know.
80% but glitched is banned from playing.
Yeah, exactly.
True
Bro,
glitchless.
the Mission Dynamic board is gonna look like the final Crash Purple boss, where literally everyone has a task time, and there's like 30 first places.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
What's doing again? This
No
is like
cap.
the right
I'm
channel.
pretty sure the last time I looked, there was like 15 first
This is
places.
live.
but
You're live on
bro,
stream at the moment. You can dip if you need to, but if you need to set up, you can hop in another channel. I'll pop you on over.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. Yoshio, we got a nice little guest appearance from the next runner, the GOAT, the Saga's
Yeah.
Lord himself. But yeah, this is a very sus run. I don't even remember how it ended up being so good. I think it's because of these clashes and stuff, where I just kept getting lucky. Like I just got like the perfect fights on everything. I was like, dude, this pace is insane. What's gonna happen? But yeah,
Yeah.
I want to see if one of the fights was actually like a triple blast, because I think I remember like I started a fight with a triple just to YOLO, and it actually ended up working. I don't
This is
remember
the
which
second
one.
till fight.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure this run right here can end up being shorter.
I could, but who wants to do that, man? It's
definitely
so
not me.
bad. It's so bad. We could do it, but it would just be like the grind of a lifetime. No, I went for double super to be safe the whole time, I think, because I had already done a bunch of YOLO attempts and it just was not working out, so I was like, eh. Oh, wait. Did I do it? Oh, I went for punches. Okay, because yeah, the deeper you get into the game, the higher your damage rolls get. So if you go for punches or key blasts here, you can actually just like finish them off. So I went for that, and it just didn't end up working out. So I just decided to finish
But
off
yes,
with super.
as you just saw with Zarbon using his super, the way his super works is he teleports above or to wherever you're standing, and per se, if you go below, diagonally, or straight, you can immediately just dodge his super.
Yeah, that was the example of what I was talking about earlier. You can take a little bit of damage, but you
That's
can
exactly
head out.
what just happened.
Yeah. So yeah, this was a little dangerous because I got homing blasted and it did no damage. If it would have done a high damage roll, I would have died. So I just went for the homing blast because even if I got a low roll, it was over. That fight kind of went way too long. It really wasn't great. It kind of put me on sus pace, but yeah.
That fight was a little bit over a minute.
Yeah, usually you want to end the fights in like 40 seconds. That's like the best way to do it usually. So yeah, this was a little bit sus overall. I feel like I went for some sort of outside.
I'm
of
just
super
saying this
strat,
right
but-
now. Next Dragon Ball or next ASF event, we gotta find a very sus Flash game to run for it, and it has to be a 4-way race.
We can do Mission Dynamic, bro, because this game is not raceable. This game is dead.
we gotta find a game that is not on the board.
If we tried running tournament, like all of the racers would lose.
Yeah, we would just
I mean,
automatically.
like, odds are.
We gotta find a game that none of us knows, and we gotta do it last minute. We only have
Yeah.
to have a week to practice it.
Yeah, something crazy
Lord.
like that. This was a really good fight,
So-
though. But yeah.
And there
overall,
is
pretty
the
solid.
Freezer world record.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
very, very well done on that.
No
Yeah,
one's
like-
beating that.
Not for
Okay,
now.
okay,
We'll
so,
see, dude. Someone could get lucky.
I was wrong. The previous record was a 713. I was referring to his.
It was
Yeah.
really
All right,
low.
let's
I
go
knew
to
it was lower than
3.
that. But yeah, 713 was like I thought that was like ridiculous. I was like, dude, oh my gosh, it's so good. And it still is. It's really, really good. I barely beat it by like what, 5 seconds? It's crazy.
We do also have a lot of other sus games on this board, but the ones that really started off this board to pop it off was Mission Dynamic and Tournament. As y'all can see, we do have Evolution, Tenkaichi 4, Dragon Ball Kart. That one's also very sus. Reese can talk about it if he
Very
wants
sus.
to.
Yeah, that's the third game that I've played in the Mist category.
Yeah, we got the classic. We got the classic driver's license filler episode wallpaper. You already know how it goes. But yeah, this is like a Flash game where it's literally just like it's like Mario Kart
type racing.
Dragon Ball, but also like regular Mario Bros. At the same time. It's so weird. Yeah, Riz,
Yeah,
you
so
played this a lot.
this
So
is-
go ahead.
This is a Flash game, so like what you see is what you get with it. There's not much to it. Like you drive forward automatically. You can kind of control like whether you want to be on the left side of the screen or the right, but you know, there's not much else aside from that. You hit the question mark blocks to get an item, and there's a chance to get the speed up item, which you might have just seen me use. And that's like the main thing that you want. There's also like Piccolo's cape, which keeps you immune from the beams that you can see the character shooting out now and then. And there's another power up that lets you like jump super high. Because really just moving from the left side of the screen to the right and jumping, those are the controls. So the reason I pick Hercule is because otherwise the AI likes to spam their beam attacks, which if you get hit, it just stuns you for a couple seconds, as you can see them just stopping there. Hercules is an annoying laugh. And so if I play as him, I don't have to hear it. Because I never use the beam. That's the only reason. Aside from that, the characters are identical. It's just like aesthetic as far as like what their beam attack is. But basically what you want to do in this game, from what I found, is just hope for all of the speed up power-ups that you can find. And you need to know the maps well enough to know, like, okay, at this point I should jump so that I can land on top of this platform so I don't get caught in this awkward, like, V where you have to, like, hop up each individual step, kind of thing. Another thing that's interesting is that there's actually pretty bad rubber banding, where if you're way in the back and the enemies, are all, like, up front, it will basically give you a speed boost up until the point where you catch up to them. Wow. So there are some points where it's almost just as good to not be trying for a while and then catch up. So the times can get like really close in this game. But it mostly is just a matter of hope for the speed boosts and know when to use them so that you can get like a straight shot of going really fast rather than like running into a wall. Knowing when to jump so that you don't get caught on too many stairs or like bump your head on too many blocks. And that's Dragon Ball Kart. That's
It's as simple as can be.
It's There's really not a lot to this game. It's those minor little things I was able to find to, speed up the run. But yeah. Another thing is just like when you see the finish line, just let the opponents go first. Sometimes if you finish first, their carts will just stop before the finish line and then approach it at a crawl. I don't know why. But they'll do that.
So it's
So
actually more
oftentimes-
optimal to lose.
It's more optimal to lose, yes. I'll reach the point where I'm like
Okay,
about to
that's
cross the
tough.
finish line, and I'll pull back to the left side of the screen, and try to let them pull
that
ahead.
is really sus right there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Actually,
But, yeah.
for us to have the four-way race, it doesn't even have to be a Flash game. It could be a Mist game.
Yeah.
We find
good.
just a random Dragon Ball Mist game.
We need to get Super Play on the Advanced Adventure bootleg and see how he does.
Yeah, we need to get you and Uber on
See
that,
Piccolo just stop there though.
The Log 2 Alpha.
No. We need to get y'all on that evil Goku fan made.
Oh yeah, true. That'd be cool. Fan-made game.
Like basically, if Goku Black was dead and took over like the entire world, and Supreme Kai was evil along with him.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It actually is lit because it's basically like Legacy of Goku.
Yeah, it's like a fan game type of style thing.
Yeah, I believe the video is somewhere in Mist.
Okay, that's sick.
I actually think I have the file for it. Yeah.
Nice.
I've never played it, but
Yeah,
I think when it was
good
first mentioned back then, I just went and got it just in case
And
something were to happen.
the funny part is about that Evil Goku game is it's basically just Goku Black actually, because when you transform,
Also,
his hair
yay,
is pink.
runs over.
Alright.
Yeah. So this was another Flash game. I was kind of the one that started mentioning it, and then someone in the Discord, it was like, "Can we have a Dragon Ball Kart leaderboard?"
I think
Yeah,
I
I
was
think it was
complaining
Rennie.
too. I think it was. Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, I think Rennie originally asked for it, I believe, because he asked me to make a mod for it too. But then, yeah. What were you gonna say?
Can we
Riz?
showcase?
I was gonna say, I think at one point I was complaining about Dragon Ball Z tournament in the chat, and Mikey was like, "Hey, if you want to torture yourself more, you should play Dragon Ball Kart." And I was like, "No way, I don't want to." I tried for a minute, and it felt so wrong, and here we are.
It's all,
Should we
it
show?
always comes
Should we
back
show off
to
the
it.
bootleg?
Which one? Advanced Adventure?
Yeah,
Definitely. It's so short, it's crazy.
I know.
I've actually never
Oh
played
my
this,
God.
but Advanced Adventure is, it's a game that you'll see in this marathon. It's actually a game that is originally for Game Boy Advance, but somewhere along the line, a bootleg was made for, what is this, Game Boy Color?
Yes.
And it's actually pretty good. Like, it looks like the game a lot. And the way it plays and everything.
For a bootleg so far, yeah.
Yeah, it plays like a demake of Advanced Adventure. The only difference is you don't actually have to defeat enemies to continue. It looks like you just kind of hop through the game, which kind of defeats a lot of the purpose of Advanced Adventure.
I like seeing the enemies along the bottom like health bar.
Yeah, they're like clipping through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why this game is only like, I'd say what minimum. Well, not minimum, maximum is like maybe 10-15 minutes long if you don't even know what you're doing and you're thinking you have to get all the enemies. But like for an actual speedrunner that knows this game off the back of their head, minimum for that, it's like 4 minutes 30 seconds. High is like
Wow.
6. Current war is a 434, which is pretty cracked.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, this basically
let's,
is movement.
Let's show off talk about the other games real quick and then wrap it up since we got to move on to the next runner.
Alrighty. We got Tenkaichi 4 is one that we're pretty familiar with. Or Mikey, you can talk decently about that game, right?
Okay, yes, I have played a crap ton of it. Tenkaichi 4, the way this is it's a ROM hack made by the BT4 team, which is what we refer to it as and what they label itself as. It is a mod made from Budokai Tenkaichi 3 itself, with the Super Saga and a bunch of the super characters input. Basically, the Goku end inside of Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 does not exist here. He's basically just taken over by Goku Super Form. Like, every transformation you could think of. Now, Ultra Instinct is his own transformation.
That's pretty sick.
The
Let's see some gameplay.
Yes. Let's see. Where's the Super Saga?
Super Saga.
Yes.
I know it's here somewhere. I think I've seen it, yeah.
I must have removed it.
Yeah,
They
and
must
check
have.
the... Yeah, I would just pull up any run. You'll probably see some crazy stuff.
Yeah, let's not pull that up.
Any percent's a nice one, yeah.
See if I can find the Super Saga. Never mind, he does not even do it for this one. Doesn't. Okay, so basically, yeah, this doesn't even have the Super Saga on it. Rip.
Well, yeah, basically this game is an updated version of Tenkaichi 3 to include Dragon Ball Super stuff. So it has like...
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, the new, what do you call it? The new layout for SRC is kind of weird. But yeah, it has like Dragon Ball Super stuff. It has like extra characters and things like that, or transformations and whatnot. Like you have Super Saiyan God here versus Beerus in Tenkaichi 3. So it's pretty wild that they were able to make like a full-fledged mod to include these characters and things like that.
Now, from what I can tell, this is early version of the mod, because The HUD you see at the top, it's completely revamped in the newer versions. Everything on it. It does also include up the Turn of Power storyline. There is in the special saga, which is now called the movie saga for this, it includes Broly. Now, I don't know if the devs are going to include Superhero yet. There has not been any news, hasn't been any updates. We just have to sit and wait to see what they're going to include. Every transformation up to the Turn of Power is in here, including Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. So, it's not like they haven't missed a single piece of content yet. There is some side characters missing that you would expect to be into here, but I mean, they can only work with what's crammed into the Tenkaichi 3 roster. They can't literally just add new slots.
Yeah.
They basically have to recode and create an entirely new game.
Yeah, so for being a mod of Tenkaichi, it's actually really cool. But yeah, let's hop on over to Dragon Ball GP. Dave, are you able to speak about GP? I don't know if you're still around.
I'll just say that GP is a game, and that
That is enough.
you're playing it at your own risk. I mean,
Okay.
I would just say that the GP32 was an old system that had homebrew and things like that. So a lot of these games, it's just kind of
Your boy DPK.
if you find it, we don't like. I'll just say we don't like say you should download bootleg, but like some of this stuff is so rare to find. It's like gaming archive because I was doing some GP32 runs because I like kind of like a gaming historian, and the fact that we found this was just crazy. It's literally like mashing on one button, but someone edited the sprites and things like that. It's just really cool that someone edited this and it's one button and it's a game. It's just barely a game. That's all I can say. If you're interested and you want to know more, you can contact me. But
Look at this high-paced action, bro. It's so powerful.
It's definitely. I think like with a lot of these games is what makes it so interesting is like these games just don't exist anymore, like in any kind of form. So one of the hard parts was that when we talked about it, everyone in this group was like really awesome about finding out about it, and that's kind of what we hope from everyone watching. If you know more miscellaneous games or things like that, we want to speedrun those too because we think it's something special for the fans. We are a little bit out of time, so I'm gonna move on. But here's what I'll end on this note because we got to get to the next runner on Tempest Masks on. But
We will be showcasing one of the missed games.
yeah, we would love the show, especially the older ones. I'm not sure about the newer ones, but older ones, they were officially made through legal avenues with Cartoon Network. So these were games that were just once available, and they've just disappeared from the internet because Flash games have become unavailable, and or files have been lost or consoles have died. It's really interesting to see what's out there, and that's what we want to do. That's our objective is we want to catalog and speedrun these games. So if you have a game that you want to speedrun that's miscellaneous, definitely reach out to one of us or on the board, and we'll have it made for you in a split second because there's so much Dragon Ball stuff that was made. I feel like this is just the beginning. I don't know if you guys agree, but I feel like we've just yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, especially mobile stuff. Glitch-san's made a good point. If anyone's watching, there's a couple mobile games that are only available in Japan. I've been trying to find them with a couple people, but those you had to have a Japanese phone, and I didn't have one till 2008. So, but that would be 2004, 2006. There was an actual official Dragon Ball game, and there's a couple of other Flash games that are were available. So we know they're out there. So Portuguese Restream, if you know, viewers watching, you know, we legitimately will jump at the chance to add it and catalog the history of fan games.
There is some other bootleg games we are looking into at the moment. Like there is a Dragon Ball GT Final Bout bootleg for the Genesis and Super Nintendo. We are having trouble finding them. If anyone in chat would be willing to possibly help us out or knows where they're located, that's also the one we are majorly looking for. That is Glitch is majorly interested in. If anyone knows where to find them, let us know, and we will make them a leaderboard.